Hi, welcome to Freezer Meals 101. I'm Charla.
And I'm Christy.
And today we are doing something that you have been asking for. We've done these before where we've done individual freezer meals or what do you call them? I don't know. Single servings.
Single servings or servings for 1 and 2.
A lot of our viewers are living on their own or just with 2 people. And so our big family size meals are just too much food.
It is. And sometimes when you are living on your own or with one other person, it is difficult to cook every day and to make sure that it's nutritious and healthy and a full meal.
It's hard to motivate yourself, like even when my husband's away out of town, it's hard for me to motivate myself to want to cook.
Last weekend, my husband and my son went camping together. It was just me and my daughter, and I am not going to admit to you that one day we ate ice cream for lunch and another day we ate popcorn. And, you know, It's the silliest thing, but it is hard to motivate yourself to cook. And I have a freezer full of meals, and we still couldn't make ourselves make a real meal. So the answer is individual serving size.
Totally, because then it's already cooked for you. You just go and grab it, and you can cook these in the toaster oven, the oven, or the microwave even.
Yes, and I know it's hard to tell because we look so young, but our parents are aging. And so we want to do these sometimes for our families.
So I sometimes make these for my mother-in-law or for my dad, and this time
we are going to make these for my father-in-law. He had a knee surgery, and I love him. He has been such a wonderful father-in-law, but can I tell you a secret on him? He doesn't cook. So when you're planning these freezer meals for an older, retired man who is currently disabled while he's healing, he needs something that he can throw in the microwave or easily heat up on a pot on the stove or in the toaster oven, because he, beyond heating up a frozen pizza, he's not much of a cook. And what's funny is we have actually had this real conversation with some of our viewers that have said, hey, listen, my dad's in his 90s and he doesn't cook and he's on his own out there and I'm worried about him. I need him to eat. So this one's for you guys.
Yeah, and if you want to do these as lunches, that's great too. So this is kind of multi-purpose. You can take these to work for lunches, or if you're on your own, you can heat these up and have them for your dinners.
Absolutely. So let's get started. What do we have today?
So we are making a slow cooker red lentil cauliflower curry. And most of our meals, we actually are, we usually do things up and then cook them on the day of. For this one, we are gonna make it first because then it's gonna be cooking in the slow cooker while we make these other recipes. And then we are going to separate it into individual portions so that they can just be reheated because it'll already be cooked.
That'll be perfect.
Yes.
That will be perfect.
And then tuna casserole, because we both like tuna casserole. My dad loves tuna casserole.
Who doesn't love a good tuna casserole? Oh, I guess if you don't like tuna, you don't like tuna casserole.
But it's comfort food for a lot of people.
It is comfort food, and it's one of those ones that's kind of got a little bit of everything in it. It has the vegetables, it has onions. This one has peas.
Peas and red pepper. So it's got all the things, and cheese. So
it's a full meal.
Yeah, full meal.
That would be
Pasta's
nice.
right in there.
Good.
And then a chicken asparagus bake or chicken broccoli bake. We haven't totally decided on what the vegetable in there is going to be, but that's another one where the chicken's already cooked, the rice is already cooked, everything
it's got cheese
in it.
Are we going to put bacon in it? It's better with bacon. What we need you to do right now is to go down below and click subscribe and hit like.
If you want to make freezer meals for yourself and make them in individual sizes, we have a great option for you. I'm going to put the link in the description below for our Freezer Meals 101 club. In there, you can take any of our recipes and with a click of a button, you can change the serving size to 1 or 2 people. And you can print out your shopping list, get everything you need to prep and make these meals, get them in your freezer so that you are totally set. So we're gonna get to cooking these meals, but check us out there.
Absolutely.
And if we have more time, we just might whip up some other meals today, so stick with us.
I'm going to make the slow cooker red lentil cauliflower curry. Our plan for this one is to make it ahead of time and cook it and then bag it, so it just needs to be reheated on the day of cooking. It calls for 2 cups of split red lentils that have been rinsed and drained, 1 yellow onion, 2 cloves of minced garlic, and 1 head of cauliflower. You'll see in this video I started with the cauliflower. I have 2 heads in there. We are doubling this. It gets very, very full. And then I dumped in the onion and the split red lentils, and bam, I remembered that I hadn't been recording, so you get to see it all kind of mixed there at once in the beginning. Sorry about that. We add in ginger, red curry paste, salt, turmeric, which is 1 teaspoon of ground turmeric, and then instead of adding separately coriander, cumin, and cardamom, we are using garam masala, which has all of those in it. We'll be adding in half a teaspoon of cayenne pepper, and because we're doubling it, I'm doing a whole teaspoon. This is going to be fairly spicy between that and the red curry paste. We add a can of tomato puree, and in this case we discovered that we hadn't actually bought enough. So it says in the recipe to not add tomato sauce, that it specifically wanted tomato puree, but we had to wing it a little bit, and that's okay. Sometimes you gotta wing it. We add water in, asks for 1 3/4 cups, so I doubled that, and half a cup of coconut milk, so I doubled that. If you haven't used coconut milk before, you want to use the full fat because the flavor is really there, and you want to put it in a bowl and whisk it up a little bit because the coconut cream in there hardens, and it gets watery in some parts and solid in another, and you kind of want to blend it together before you add it in. When you serve it, you might want to add freshly chopped cilantro, and it's recommended to also serve with brown rice, cooked quinoa, farro, or something similar. This is really delicious and really tasty and quite spicy, and it took a long time to cook. It took a long time for those split red lentils to soften up and a long time for that cauliflower to soften up, but it's delicious. I'm going to make the chicken asparagus bake. This has been a long time favorite for us because it is very easy to make on the back end. Everything is cooked. All you have to do is basically get it nice and warmed up. It has 2.5 cups of cooked rice. It has 1 to 2 chicken breasts that we've chopped up, so it's like 1 to 2 cups. It's kind of an easy one with, let's just have some leftover chicken and throw it in here, and it works really well. We use a cup of chopped asparagus because Charlotte is allergic to broccoli. This was originally a broccoli bake, but it is now a chicken asparagus bake. We use half a can of mushroom soup and half a can of chicken soup. Therefore, this is the best one to double because then you get to use the whole can of mushroom soup and a whole can of the cream of chicken soup. You add 1 cup of cheddar cheese, add salt and pepper to taste, and optionally we'll add in 2 slices of chopped bacon that we have cooked and crumbled. This has become kind of a must for us, but we haven't always started out that way with it, but now we add the bacon in every time. You want to mix it all together, and in this case I'm going to double it, so you'll see that my amounts are a little bit higher than what I just mentioned. And it'll fit in small bags nicely, and they will be awesome for my father-in-law to easily reheat. Tuna casserole is straight up comfort food. It's got the carbs, it's got mild flavors, it is just rich and creamy on a rainy day, and that's what we have here today. We start with our 2 cans of flaked tuna, and if it isn't flaked, you can flake it. You want it to be drained. I didn't flake it very well, so it's kind of chunky in the beginning, but that's okay. We're going to add in some onion, 2 cups of cheddar cheese that's been grated, 2 cans of cream of mushroom soup, a cup of frozen peas, and half a cup of red bell pepper that's been diced. You want to add in a little bit of pepper, and then you have 2 options. You can freeze it this way, or if you want to make it a complete meal, you can do your bag of egg noodles and add it in. In this case, we've doubled it. So everything that I've said, we have twice as much, which means we also had twice as much egg noodles. So I needed the big bowl to be able to get it into the bag, or to get it all mixed up nicely and to get it into the bags. This is a nice one because it's just a simple reheat. You know, you can do it in the oven at 425 for 20 or 30 minutes. And really, if you're not that worried about how cooked your onion ends up being, you could reheat this in the microwave and it would be fine. So I hope you enjoy this one because it's simple and pleasant and comforting. The next meal will be Tante Giselle's chicken fried rice. This is Charlotte's aunt's recipe and it is delicious. We discovered after our chicken asparagus bake that we had a little bit of rice left over and quite a bit of chicken left over. So we made some more rice to add in at the end and we made some chicken fried rice. Here it is. 4 cups of cooked rice, 1 to 2 chicken breasts that have been cubed, and they're boneless, skinless. So you have about 1.5 cups to 2 cups of chicken cut up. You can add a cup of celery. We didn't in this case because Charlotte is allergic, so we just generally don't cook with the celery, but you can. 1 onion diced, a cup of carrots, a can of water chestnuts, and because we doubled this recipe, we had a can of sliced water chestnuts, and then we had a can of whole water chestnuts. And so I just took a few minutes and chopped them up so they were sliced as well. A cup of frozen peas, a clove of garlic, 2 tablespoons of oyster sauce. Yes, I said oyster sauce in chicken fried rice, which I had never heard of until this recipe, and it's really good. And soy sauce. And we're going to just mix it all together. And then on the day of, you can of course do it in the skillet or wok. But I don't know if you know this, you can make chicken fried rice in a casserole dish covered in an oven at 350. You just really need to heat it up. It doesn't need to get crispy and crunchy unless you want it that way. But it's a really easy one. It's always things that you have left over in the kitchen that you can add in together and make it work. And so we were happy to add this one in. It was kind of a surprise. It wasn't part of the plan. And that's it. That's how easy it was to make different recipes.
And lots of servings for those recipes.
And I think a pretty good variety.
Yeah, I think he's going to be set for a little bit here.
He will. He will.
He'll appreciate not having to, well, cook
For
a while.
Right? And that is a nice gift to be able to give him because that is something I want for him. That's really great.
So thank you for joining us today. We really appreciate you being here. And we're going to put a link right there to another video with some more freezer meals for one. So you can get more recipes and ideas and see how easy this would be for you to do.
Thanks. Happy cooking.